What this video is about is to show you the Dow Jones and VIX, and is there some information here in a window that we could watch out for where there is some caution that needs to be taken. So that's what I personally feel, and I'm going to show you kind of the little window here. What we're going to be using is Dow Jones, we're going to use the VIX, and we're also going to check on some of those airline stocks. And please understand that this would then correlate probably with crypto. As you can see, not really having the best days right now for crypto, but this kind of can show you what's on the horizon here, and we might be entering some crappy times in 2022. So let's go ahead and jump on the charts and see if you like what I have to share. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off on the VIX. This is the Sp Volatility Index. The candles are going to be a little bit messy, but just try to stick with me as much as possible. I'm going to go ahead and I'll slide this over so I can expand this so we can look at it a little bit better for those viewing on the computer or on their phone. So this is a little bit sloppy, so sometimes I will I'll turn this into a line chart, but for right now I'm not going to. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to turn off the candles. Okay, I'm going to turn off the candles. I just want to look at the moving averages. The reason why, and I'll put it on a daily. The reason why is I'm looking for areas that that rhyme, that there's a pattern, that can happen. So the way this is set up right now, you see how the yellow, the blue, and the red are really tight together right there? That's a dangerous moment right there. That can lead to a burst moment on this volatility, which means markets are going to go down. It can happen very fast. You can see it right here. Boom, that was the COVID one. You can see it back here. This is January 2018. Boom, that one pushed up. This one isn't as packed together. See the red, the blue, the yellow? I'm looking for them to be packed together. I like to get them like this. Now, there can always be the little bit of that fake out. Like that one looks pretty good. There's a little push there, but it can get like this or get like this, and it can fake out and come back down, where this just is not a moment and it's going to come back down and it's a later moment, right? However, right now we're in that moment where we don't have the fake out yet. So we have a window that we got to watch for. We now need to look at the details to say, is there something there that we need that can show us? Do we need to watch this every day? And the answer is yes. You should be watching this every day. Since I posted on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I think most of you guys do. It's right here, seasonal buyer, and there's reasons for this logo and this banner, which will eventually change when I feel the time is right. But yeah, I've shown the VIX before, and I've talked about it and said that this need right here, VIX and XRP. I'm talking about it, sharing that with people like, hey, you need to probably watch this to see what's going to happen on the horizon. So here we go. We're on it right now, and I don't like what I see right now, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so we're going to go to the indicators here, and the one that stands out the most to me that we're going to use in comparison is this COVID crash one, right? I don't like that setup. I don't like the way it is. It can pull down like it's doing, and which is what I see right here. And I'm going to I'll spread this out a little bit because that's the one I want to focus on, right? It's this little pocket here. And if you look at the RSI, just come down here and look at the RSI, you can see what happens when it gets to this point here. It pulls back down. So there is a possibility, I'm showing you on the RSI, it pierced right there on the RSI, that this could happen. I'm not telling you 100% it's happening. It's an area to watch, is what you should be watching right now, to be like, oh boy, this could obviously play a game here. I mean, this can come back up here, do this one more time, and then blast right through. It can do something like that. It can do it however it wants. The big thing is if it starts to pierce up on this RSI, as you saw here. See how this ripped up right through here? I'm going to turn this candles back on. You see this happens? Boom, it pulls down. So this move right here left a gap right there, is this guy, right? That's this guy. So if we come over here and we're saying, okay, could that be that guy? There's a possibility. Are we leaving gaps above? Yeah, there's a gap right there. All right, so what did it do? It pushed up and it pulled back down. Okay, so it can keep going down, and it can calm down, and it cannot do this by all means. But it's in a dangerous area that if it starts to maybe want to gear up again and start to push, it's going to then, obviously it can go up and rip through here, and next thing you know, there's bad things happening in the market and everyone's wondering what the hell's going on, and there's some news, some narrative that connects with it. So this is an area that I'm watching right now to see. So it's not fully super alarming at the moment, but it could be. So if you come down here to the stochastic, you can see that the stochastic was bottoming out in this in this area as well. So you come over here and look at that stochastic, and you're like, wow, this is actually bottoming out right here as well. This is an area that we should look. We got the RSI looking like it. We got the stochastic looking like it. We got a setup. It doesn't need to be identical, but we do have a setup here. And then we also have it on here on the DMI right here, this blue. If this blue turns up right there as the red goes down, just right here, blue turns up, red goes down, we got a problem on our hands. It can easily do that. The other thing I wanted to point out, which I guess I'll be pointing that out when I pull the Dow Jones up against this here in a second. But that's our area that I'm looking at. I want to look at those areas to say, are we set up like that? Not only is the VIX set up like that, that this obviously could happen again right here, and this erupts up, right, and it pushes another. So it would look something like this. So I can obviously just grab this. It's not the one I wanted. Whoops, sorry, wrong one. This is what I wanted. Bars pattern. It could be something like this, so where we can just grab this here, boom, and next thing you know, it's doing something like this. It can easily do that. Trend line, and that's what could happen. I do feel it's probably more so that first quarter 2022 is, I think, a dangerous window. So this could, it could chill out for a second and then go. It could be, it could be more so like that. It could happen in, well, this would be happening in February, March. So this would be, it could look anything like that I'm showing you there. It can look just like that, and that's how this all happens. Now, the thing is, you might say, well, let's look at the Dow Jones against this. Is there a way that we can line up the chart with the Dow Jones? And the answer is yes. That's what we are going to do. So let me come over here and let me pull the Dow Jones. I'm just messing around with another crypto right there. If you're wondering, let's go to okay, so here goes Dow Jones future chart, and we're going to keep them both on a daily here, and I'm going to kind of squeeze this together right now at the moment, and we're going to first go back to here, okay, so I can show you guys how these things erupt right here. So as you can see my cursor, as it crosses, you see what's happening right here? It erupts up. What's happening to Dow Jones over there? Okay, it's going down. There's a move down, boom, pull down, right? Then we got the second one here. What happens? Pulls down, right? Right there at that one. Here's the key, you got to watch out for this. This actually creates another leg up. So even if this if this goes up like this and comes down, it can do that, right? It can create another leg. So as you can see, that dropped, then it kind of hung sideways, and then another drop came in right there at that last move right there. So look at it over on the left. You see how that's dropping and that's kicking up again? So that's something we need to watch out for. Come over here. This actually shot up, boom, right? What happens? This obviously tanked right here. This is that COVID crash level. I'm saying, hey, we're in a very similar setup that we were right then and there. So we need to watch out for this. We should be watching this every day right now for that moment to see if there is a moment that's going to come. So when you look at that, you then say, okay, well, that happened here, and we kind of got a similar setup. We just looked at it on the VIX, right? We looked at, let me slide this back over. We looked at the way that this was on the RSI was piercing on the RSI, and that it could come up, back down. We looked at the stochastic, we looked at the DMI, and if we wanted to, we can argue right there on the MACD. I just didn't pull it up, where it goes up, down, and then shoots up. So up, down, which this could probably play a little bit, and then boom, it starts to shoot up, and market's coming down. So the key thing is here is, what does it look like? And let me tell you something. Before I had all this information, this extra information, I was looking for this to because there's gaps and stuff. I'm a big believer in. Had a trend line here. I'm looking for it to fall here. I'm looking for it to fall here. I'm looking for it to fall here because I think that it's supposed to. I just think this is all the inflation, everything it's supposed to. So by all means, I'm looking for that to fall, and I'm being very patient to obviously place my investment at a bottom, or as close to a bottom, right? So anyways, just letting you guys know, I have made tons of errors here. I've missed, but whenever it shows up, like right here, if I start to see something, or right here, if I start to see it start to kind of present itself, I'll start to look at it to see if it happens. I'll start trying to make some calls on it. But if it doesn't happen, then I stay patient and wait for it to show up. You're gonna catch it because you keep looking for it. You know it's gonna happen. So I just wanted to share that if this is what I'm doing. I'm not gonna always be accurate. It's just data I'm sharing. So take it how you like, and maybe line it up against other stuff. I mean, everyone seems to be looking for something like this, but I'm finding like a situation that could actually end up happening. So let's do this. Let's see what this look like here, and I'll probably just maximize this whole screen here. Right here, yeah. So let's look at that. So we know that we're looking at this area here because I'll go back to it. Because of this. See where my cursor is? You see where it shows that we're at? So if we're pulling down here, it says that we are somewhere right there, February 13th area. So February 13th area is what I would start looking at right now, and I would match it with today, right? So we're going to go ahead and get off this VIX on February 13th, because remember, I'm looking at this to this, which has put me at February 12th, 13th area, and I'm like, all right, well, let me come over here to see what that looks like, right, versus what we're looking at today. So we're going to go ahead and expand this, right, and here's February 13th right here. So you can see what's ahead from right here. Now the thing is now what should you be doing? Well, look down at the indicators below, right? I'm going to leave my cursor right here. I want you to then come all the way over here and then just use your eyes and look down at each indicator. Here, I'll expand this a little bit so you guys can see it. Just go down the line, you can look at the chart and then just go right here to this indicator, this indicator, this indicator, this indicator, and see if they kind of line up. Remember, we use the VIX to kind of guide us to this point, that see if this is a possibility. So I will leave the cursor there for a second, and then I'll kind of talk to you. So we're going to drop down to the first indicator. As you can see, that's the DMI, right? The red is actually underneath the blue. The blue is kind of intertwining. You can see they're kind of tight right there, but then the red shoots up, which means it's going bearish, and then the blue drops down. Are we set up like that right now on the daily? Yes, the answer is yes. Next line down, go ahead and look at the MACD. Is the MACD, and actually I could probably just pull this down, I'll just put it right here. Is the MACD in position right now to do what we're about to do? Is it a similar look? Yes, it's a similar look. So that's a problem that we need to watch out for. Not that it's not that important, but all in all, I'm taking it all together. Now that we come down here and we put our this area right here, 58, 59 on the RSI, are we kind of like in that area? And the answer is yes, we're in that area, right? So this is an area on the RSI that we are in the same position. You then come down and say, let's look at the stochastic. Are we at the top of the stochastic right now? The answer is yes, we're at the top of the stochastic. Now, this doesn't have to happen at this moment, right? So it's not going to always be identical. That's something we know. This can do this. This is how this all can work. This can, if it doesn't go now, it would come up, come down, come up. It can do this right here, right? And this can put us like more towards, December, the beginning of the year, and then this can hang out up here. There's so many ways that it can do it and buy time and not do it at this very moment. But I think we can look for this little window here for something like this to happen. Now this is just an example of how this could work, and this could obviously spend some time up here and then drop down, and now we're in 2022 and we're at the beginning of the year, first quarter, and things are dropping. So I personally think that it's probably it would be a little bit more towards like February, March that it would start, but it could very well start right now here. This is looking pretty clean at the moment. This would have to start breaking down probably this month into January. So the next 2 weeks or so, things would start having to slip a little bit, and we'd have to start that fall, very similar to what, let me open this back up, very similar to what took place back here in the for the COVID crash. So as you can see, you can just kind of go here to here, and you can see this this one, obviously I didn't do the top, whatever it was called, 40% drop, but it was around 32 days. It only took 32 days to go from here down to here, right? Now I think this one obviously could be a lot further, and it doesn't need to take 32 days. It can take 2 months or whatever to do this. So I can see this. I mean, whether it comes back down here or even deeper and goes maybe more of a 50% drop, I could see something like this happening, very much so, and it can maybe take, we'll call it, they can do it in a 60-day window, let's say. It can do it even that. It can be that sharp. Something could happen, black swan event, something can happen, and that is what could be on the horizon for us. So that is, this is something that I'm watching to see if it is going to be, because as you can see, the VIX is in position right now. Not looking the full best, but it's something to pay attention to right now. This is going to be a dangerous area. And you would, if you're somebody that's like, oh, I want to buy right now, I want to buy. Well, it's like, well, why don't you just chill for a second and see what this does? Because this is a dangerous area. That's kind of what I'm showing you. That's, information that I'd be giving myself. Now, is there anything further I can show you to say, well, is there anything else that can be in conjunction with this to say that maybe that there's a problem, that something's going to happen? And the answer is yes. It's the airline stocks. I've shown this before, and those airline stocks aren't looking really, really good. Let me go to the airline stocks, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So come over here, and you can see what I have drawn over here, and I'm just going to kind of show you this fractal that I have. And we'll just kind of do it on a weekly, and you can see what has happened so far. So you can see this trend line that I have up, 1, 2, 3, came through here, it broke down, and then it checked up, and it checked it as resistance. This is very, very dangerous setup that could obviously start to tumble very, very quickly. So let me turn that off just for a second. You can, so if this is something, this is telling me that something's probably gonna happen. I mean, the airlines, I know there can be anything with the airlines, but this is telling me something nasty could be happening here on the airlines. They're not fully down on some of the indicators. I don't like where this is floating right now. It's floating on the stochastic on the weekly right here. It's not fully bottomed. So I can easily see this becoming just a fake out and then continuing down even further down into here. Literally that first quarter. I can see that first quarter being a problem, which then lines up. I've never even ran this next to the VIX. I can probably run it next to VIX to see what the VIX says, to see what has happened. So as the VIX shot up right here in January, you can see what happens. It pushed up, and that obviously started the trend of this falling down. There was obviously a lot of movement here, and then right here, see how it shot up right there? Boom, shoots up right there. We drop down right there. Let's go ahead and look at this. This is that level that I'm looking at. So there goes COVID drop. Boom. And this obviously shot up. This cup area. Boom. Shoots up. Drops the chart. I'm telling you that this already looks really bad, and if this is another shoot up moment, it's going to probably drop that chart just like I'm showing you here. It's going to drop those candles. That's on a weekly. Let me go to weekly to weekly. Let's see what the weekly indicator says. Go back here. Look at this. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at here. So as this was the COVID crash, right? So this dropped, this popped up, pierced the RSI, right? I'm in a similar position here. If this, if it's, you know, in a couple months or so, because it hangs out here, drops, pierces the RSI, this can, because this can come up here maybe again, pops and rips up on the RSI right there. So I'm giving this a little window here, that this could actually pop up like that, and it's going to send this down, boom, and there, whatever the narrative is, whatever it is showing me that there is a window here. There is a window here that's a dangerous window that I need to watch based off of the indicators and based off of the fractal, the patterns, the volatility, the you know, the damn airlines, the Dow Jones. It's telling me that this is an area that is of concern. And what I can do here is you can probably also, let me just invert this, right? So let's turn this off for a second. Let's invert this chart here. I'll invert this, which would mean that they need to look similar, that they would obviously now start looking the same on like a lot of accounts. So as you can come over here and see how this falls together. So there you go. So it would then hit that dip, pierce that RSI. Yep, that's what took place. Then it would then run up, and this one obviously didn't go up and pierce the, you know, the RSI up here. That's fine. It then would come down, and then it could pierce here, where this could come and pierce that, and that would come and pierce that, and then obviously this would obviously come down as well. So this red would obviously kick up, right, and that would stay up here. So it's a dangerous, and I'm going to put this back. It's a dangerous area, and I wanted to share this to you guys, give you guys a slice of some of the stuff I do. I know some of you guys are, you know, hey, you're gonna make a video, and some of you guys don't know I have like a private channel, which, you know, I'm not broadcasting it, telling people to all go sign up and stuff like that. I do this every day very deeply, and it's everything. It's not just, I'm just showing you a slice of some of the stuff I do, just to give a little bit out there to some of you guys out there that are asking me like, hey man, can you get a video or something, give you some updates on something. And you know, some of you guys appreciate the way I analyze stuff, because it's definitely a different angle. It's more of a fractal reading, and you guys know I dig a lot on some stuff. So this is a scenario that I'm watching here. This is a window. I recommend watching this window right now, from now on the VIX, and you can watch the, you know, the stocks and stuff, the airlines. You can watch everything on those, and it'll tie into crypto. And I think that this window right here is of value, which would be right here, and I would run it to March area. I think this area right here, I probably ran it to May, didn't I? Yeah, it doesn't, like the first quarter. I think once you start seeing that, if that starts to happen right there, that's a window I'm looking for. Same thing here. I'm just looking for movement. If you're wondering, I'm looking for. Let me see. Spread this out. Sorry, this one's not. Spread this out a little bit. Yeah, same concept here. I think there's a window right here that things can start slipping down, and you can start to catch like the market is. I mean, this is a weekly chart I'm showing you guys right now, so if we put it on a daily, it'll look a little bit wider. These are weekly charts I'm looking at. Yeah, this is a window here I would watch out for from right now all the way over to like March area is definitely a cause of concern for me. So there's some caution there. So if there's anything else you're looking at that you might say, man, I see some stuff that's bearish, and now you're just kind of adding to it. All I'm saying is caution, just be careful right here. If it doesn't, then that's fine. Then things can get delayed, and we'll look for another setup. I'll look for another setup, and if the setup appears again, I'm like, hey, here we go. It kind of kicked back down. Now we're we're getting some of that pop again. We're in a danger zone. Those are areas to me, if you're somebody watching charts and you're aware, like somebody that's not aware of what I'm showing, even if this doesn't happen at this moment and it's a little bit a later moment, it's still an area that somebody can just at least watch, and maybe they're a little bit cautious there, and they're sitting on the sideline like, I'll just sit on the sideline for a second just to see what happens. I don't need to keep on, I'm already doing well or something. It's just, that's what I'm giving the data for those out there that it's like, you know what, if I'm in a bad position right now, or I'm about to buy right now or something, maybe I need to watch this real quick, because this could be real. This could actually happen. And next thing you know, things are not doing well. So hopefully you guys like this video, and, maybe every week or month or so, I will kick out some stuff like this to give some of those little free nuggets out there of gems on things that could possibly happen, and to help you guys read the markets. All right. Hopefully you guys appreciate this data. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.